Hey everyone, it's Charlene. We're making a really cute holiday card today. We're starting out with the winter scenery background stamp, and I'm stamping this a few times in a light gray ink. I want this to kind of fade into the background, and I think the light gray ink really gives you a sense that you have this nice snowy background. Next, I'm using the Winter Wonderland tree stamps, and I'm stamping these all out with some of the black hybrid ink because I'm going to be using some alcohol markers to color these in today. These are really sweet stamps because you can use them all over your background, or you could use them as the background. They're also a lot of fun because you could do some neat masking tricks with them. I'm just stamping them out, and later I'm going to fussy cut them. I'm starting out here with some G07, that's my darkest green, and you can see I'm going to be doing my shading on these at a 45-degree angle so that the darkest color is down in the bottom right hand corner of each tree. Then I'm using my midtone, which is a G14, and I'm going all the way around the edge of the tree and then just pulling out some of that darker color from where I put the shading. And lastly, for my highlight, I'm using YG03. So I'm going in with that highlight there. I colored all the trees in the exact same way, so you can see they all have this nice shadow cast on them down in that bottom right hand corner. And once they're done, like I said, I just fussy cut them out with some scissors. Next, I'm using the super cute Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree stamps and dies. Again, I am stamping these out with some of the black hybrid ink because I'm going to be using some alcohol markers again. This set is absolutely adorable. It has the little Christmas tree and all these cute little mice that are dancing and doing all kinds of fun things, and this cute little sled. I just love it. And there's a few other stamps that I didn't use that are also included in this set. So once I get this stamped out, I can go ahead and do my coloring. I am going to use the same green colors on the tree there. For my little mice, I use some warm grays. Warm grays tend to work really well for animals, so I'm using W1, W2, and W5, and again starting out with my darkest color in the bottom right hand corner, as well as anywhere else that I think some shading should be. And then I'm coming in with my midtone, which is that W2, going all the way around the edges, pulling out the dark, and then also for my highlight using W1, which is a very, very light warm gray. I'm going to color all of the mice in the same exact way, and then I'm going to come back in and do their ears. And I used some really light pinks here. I used R000 and R20. This is a really pretty color combination for ears on animals or noses, cheeks as well. I really like these two colors together. So next for my sled, I'm using C1 and C3 for the silver areas. You can see I had a darker silver out there, but I decided not to use that. And then I used E47 and E49 for the actual slats on the sled. And I used the E49 again in that bottom right hand corner, and then also for shading. For the pine cones, I used E57 and E59. And then for my ornaments, I went with all reds. I did R14, R27, and RV29. And then I added some accents here and there and also did the star in C1 and C3. Now you could do a ton of different colors for the ornaments if you wanted to on this tree. I just wanted to keep kind of a cohesive look to all of the colors on this card, so I kept all of my ornaments in those nice red colors. So once I get all of that done, I can use the coordinating dies to go ahead and cut everything out. And I'm going to go in around a piece of A2 size cardstock that's cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm using a really nice light blue, which is B00. So you can see I'm just going all the way around the edges. My marker is a little bit dry, so I need to fill that. But it creates this beautiful light blue, especially once it dries. It gives you the sense of there being a kind of crisp winter sky back behind the card. So that was my goal here. You can do this with any of your cards if you're trying to create a nice colored border. So now I have that initial snowbank piece back in my MISTI, and I am stamping my sentiment on the front, and I'm using some of the foam adhesive to go ahead and pop that on top of the light blue outline piece. So you can see how it just creates this illusion of a nice crisp sky back behind the snowbank panel. Now I'm going to glue all of my little trees that I fussy cut out from the Winter Wonderland tree stamp set, and I'm using some liquid adhesive on some of these, and I'm sort of deciding based on perspective how I want to arrange the trees and which ones I want to pop up. So you can see I use those 3 small trees in the back right hand corner, but in the front left hand corner I'm using a large tree, and then I'm popping up a medium-sized tree with some foam tape. Next, I'm going to glue that cute little mouse on top of the sled so it looks like he is sliding down the hill. I love this so much, and I placed him right above the sentiment. So it looks like he came off of that little snowbank on the right-hand side there. My colored Christmas tree with all of the ornaments is going to go right in the center of the card. That way I can arrange all of my cute little mice so it looks like they are really rocking around that Christmas tree. And I will tell you, I had that song stuck in my head for the whole day, and it made me feel like I was in a very nice holiday mood. So it's a super cute set, and it will definitely put you in the mood for those warm winter holidays that we have coming up. So again, with the liquid adhesive, arranging all of the cute little mice, and I decided to put a couple of them right next to each other so it kind of looks like they're dancing together. I like that you can arrange the mice however you want to, so that way it can look like they're all dancing separately or that some of them are dancing together. Really, really cute. Now again, in that top left-hand corner, I'm using some smaller trees, and that's again just to create perspective. So it looks like those trees are farther back in the distance on those snowy little banks. And now I've got another one of my little mice to put there, and then I just have one more little mouse to put down, and again I'm going to make him look like he's looking back at his little dance partner that I just glued on the card. I just can't even tell you how cute these mice are, and you could use them in so many different ways. You could coordinate these with other sets that have been released that have music notes in them and things like that. So it's a very versatile stamp set. Love it. All right, once I get him down, I'm actually going to go ahead and stamp the inside of my card base with a greeting here. I always like to stamp something on the inside and on the outside if I can. And then using some liquid adhesive to glue my whole card panel to the card base. Again, this is an A2 size card, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And once I get that all set, I'm going to come in, and the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some glossy accents on the ornaments as well as on the star tree topper. And that's going to really create the shine and bling on my card. I'm not using any sequins. I'm just using this glossy accents here and there to really add a little something to the card. I hope you picked up a few tips and tricks today. Please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of videos in the future. I hope you all have a wonderful and crafty day.